So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read two short pieces, and one is, did anyone read Highlights magazine? I read it growing up, and my dad, since he's ridiculously out of touch, sent that to my son, a subscription of Highlights to my son, like when he was like 6 months old, you know? Okay, Dad, that's what he, you know, I could use little bucks, I don't need Highlights, but Goofus and Gallant doesn't really cut it for 6-month-old. But what so I was been reading Highlights, and because I was trying not to drink, and I read these letters, and I don't know if you've read the letters, but they're amazing. So I thought they give this incredible moralistic advice, and I thought they never hear after they give advice back from the kids they give advice. So I sort of imagined what that would be like. Okay, so the first two parts are actually from Highlights magazine. Dear Highlights, I want to be a writer when I grow up, but I don't know what to write about. Please help. Emily B., Illinois. Emily, you might want to start writing in a journal. You can write down thoughts and observations and describe places and characters that you may use later in a story or poem. Dear Highlights, as soon as I got your answer, I totally went for it. I carried a notebook with me like Harriet the Spy and described everything I saw. I first wrote about my friend Marnie's house and how her dad keeps stacks of magazines called Plumpers and Big Women in his garage, and how her carpets really smell like her cat Snickers' accidents. Probably because they keep forgetting to clean them up. I think I did an okay job of creating the character of her mom and her dandruff, like a snow blizzard. Pretty good, right? The brown housecoat she never takes off, and the bottle she hides under baby Destiny's bassinet. I'm about to post my observations on my Facebook page so I can be a published author like you said. Thanks, Highlights. Dear Highlights, my sister and I fight. What can we do not to fight? Kristen S. by email. You might want to have a heart-to-heart talk with your sister sometime when the two of you are getting along. Together you might be able to find ways to prevent arguing. Dear Highlights, my sister and I talked and it was okay, but after she borrowed my Miley Cyrus leggings without asking and got cheese whiz all up in them, I got really mad, so I flushed her goldfish Lady Gaga down the toilet. We just couldn't work it out. My dad said he was sick and tired of hearing us fight all the time, so he took out a pair of old boxing gloves he had in the attic and gave us each one. I got the left, which kind of sucked. He said he was going all tough love on our asses and locked us out of our modular home in our PJs. It was pretty darn cold, Highlights. After my sister hit me in the eye with that cracked leather, I realized my left wasn't going nowhere, so I hit her in the nose with my bare fist like they do on Jersey Shore after pre-gaming. It hurt my hand pretty bad, but I think I heard a small bone snap in her nose. Dear Highlights, my friend bothers me about my work. I can't focus and finish on time. What should I do? Anthony N. by email. Try ignoring your friend. Don't look at him or respond to anything he says while you're doing your work. Dear Highlights, I ignored Ziggy and he stopped bugging me after 2 days, but then he started doing wacky stuff like licking my shoulder and asking me weird questions about my lovely lady lumps, which is weird because I'm a guy. I paid no attention to him even when he cut off most of his hair with Fiskars before the aides spotted him. Even when he filled his mouth with sanitizer gel, swished it around and swallowed it, I did nothing. He says he's bringing in gasoline tomorrow, but I'm just going to pay him no mind like you said. Dear Highlights, my friends make fun of me because I'm a boy who likes to cook. Should I stop cooking? Jason. Try to have a sense of humor about your friends teasing. You could say, when I'm eating good food, I'm not sorry I'm a good cook. You might even invite your friends to try cooking with you sometime.